All right, which doesn't belong and why? Quarterbacks in the second year of an offense: Tua Tagovailoa, Deshaun Watson, Justin Fields. Which doesn't belong and why?
Well, I guess the one I'm gonna look at here is Justin Fields. All right, it's a tough one here. They all got a little issue either way, but Justin Fields, I think, is the guy that I probably have the most questions about. And to what Luke Getsy is saying there, Deshaun Watson, second year in the offense. I mean, I've seen him be a superstar and be one of the best quarterbacks in football. Tua, we saw stretches of time of high-level play last year. I don't doubt that. Justin Fields, I'm not sure. Again, it's elite ability to run the football. Saw improvements in passing the ball. But one thing I learned through my, my quarterback rankings and doing my top 40 list is there's still a lot of work to be done in all areas. I think that's what Luke Getsy's telling you. Eyes, reading coverages, appropriate throws, what is open, what's not, controlling the football. And those, of course, are big things because like Luke Getsy's saying, too, I think he's going, wait, some of these plays you did, they're amazing and all that, but this guy was open and you should have just thrown it there. Yeah, it worked out because you're a freak and you're an awesome runner, but it's not always going to work out if we want to go the place we want to go and have to play better teams in football and all that. So that's where I'll go with Justin Fields.
I'm going to say Deshaun Watson because I don't think it's his second year in the offense. I think last year they put him into the offense that they were running all year. This year will be the first year of the offense specifically tailored to Deshaun Watson. They had the bulk of the games with Jacoby Brissett. You're not going to make this dramatic change to a brand new offense after 11 games of the season. So this isn't the second year in the offense for Deshaun Watson, in my opinion. This is the first year in the offense that they're designing for him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I hear you there. And, you could say why he doesn't belong and why is just because, this is a guy that's played at an all-pro level, too, to that as well. So it's a different situation here with the Deshaun Watson scenario and everything that goes. And that's where it's going to be fun to see how it plays. How quickly can he show us he's the star he once was, and how good can that team be? We know they got some pieces. We talked about it yesterday.
Let's hear a little from Cooper Kupp, the Rams receiver, who was having another great year last year, had the ankle injury. We didn't see him again. Here he is on recovering from that ankle problem.
You don't know until you get out here doing football stuff and really putting your ankle, putting the ankle through the stuff that, is required of playing football. You can't simulate this stuff. So, I don't know if we'll really know. I feel right now as we've been pushing it now, pretty hard. I feel really good. And so, I'm itching to be out there. And, it's a good place to be now where I feel like I'm asking for more and wanting to do more and feeling like you're getting held back versus feeling like they're pushing you to do more, So we're in a good place now where I feel like I want to get out there and play, and they're just, they're being, cautious with it.
Yeah, look, they need to be. They need to have this thing healed. They need him ready to go. So, veteran receivers looking to rebound in 2023, which doesn't belong and why, between Cooper Kupp, Michael Thomas, and Calvin Ridley. Not that he was injured. He was just gone.
Yeah.
He was gone for violating the gambling policy, but veterans looking to come back, which doesn't belong and why.
Well, I think that's where I go, Calvin Ridley, because of that right there. He was a guy that was, just starting to go, whoa, we got a, fringe superstar, definite number one receiver in Atlanta. And then all these issues hit with the gambling and all that. So that's where Kupp, Michael Thomas, they're coming back from injuries. We've seen them play well. Hey, Michael Thomas, we certainly could debate on how good it's going to be and whatever else. But Ridley is a guy that is in the prime of his career and had to take a step away just as he was ascending into a spot where we go, ooh, this guy could be special. That's where I find this different. And, of course, now he's on a new team altogether, too. I think that's why I pick him.
I think Kupp, just because there's no reason to think he won't come back and be exactly what he's been. The question is everyone around him. But Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp have that connection. They will produce. I kind of feel like the defenses last year realized, okay, fine, just throw it to Kupp. Just throw it to Kupp. You're not going to beat us by throwing it to Kupp. You don't have anything else.
Yes,
that's your
that's
one
right,
move.
right.
But still, Kupp is still a key piece. He's just going to go as the help around him does or doesn't go. All right. The Hard Knocks team has not yet been announced for 2023. Last year, we knew in March that the Lions would be doing it. This year, there are 4 teams that fit the criteria for being compelled to do it: the Saints, the Bears, the Jets, and the Commanders. Here is Dennis Allen, head coach of the Saints, talking about his interest or lack thereof in his team being the focus of Hard Knocks.
You guys are one of the 4 teams that could be forced on the Hard Knocks. How would you just feel about that if it was the Saints?
I wouldn't like it.
Yeah. Why not?
Because I just want to focus on our football team and getting better. And any distractions are exactly that. They're just distractions that keep you from ultimately reaching your goal.
There's a lot of teams that feel the same way. Bottom line, though, is somebody's got to do it. They made that decision a long time ago. Somebody's got to do it, and they came up with this formula. Any team that hasn't been to the playoffs in the last 2 years, any team that doesn't have a first-year head coach, and any team that has not done it in the last 10 years is eligible for the involuntary assignment. I feel like they've been waiting for the Jets to just finally say yes.
Right.
And
that would
maybe
be the
they
most
eventually will.
intriguing one, right? That seems to be the one that you would think would be the best ratings grabber, right? The one that we'd all want to tune in and be like, oh, let's see how Rodgers is, what he's doing, how Saleh handling Rodgers, all of that. It's New York. I mean, they're under a huge microscope. But if it wasn't the Jets, right, and we take them out of the equation, what do you think? What's the next, the next most intriguing, fun one to watch, possibly?
We are doing which doesn't belong and why, so we're kind of already in that territory by saying we agree the Jets don't belong because they're the first clear choice.
Right.
So let's take the Jets out of it.
Okay.
Let's assume that the Jets aren't doing it or they'd already have committed to do it. Of the other 3, Saints, Bears, and Commanders, which doesn't belong and why?
And they're all. I don't have an interesting one here that out of those 3 that jumps out to me. I guess the one that as far as I think the most the Commanders or the Bears would be the one I would boil it down to that I think I'd want to watch the most. And I think if I had to choose one, I'd probably want to go with the Bears. I'd want to see Chicago. We know there's the fan base there, the Justin Fields, everything we've talked about, his development, the pressure on that situation. I guess the Bears is the one I'd look for as being the next intriguing one.
Several weeks ago, Bears chairman George McCaskey came out and said they don't want to do it. Now, the Commanders are the best team to basically squeeze into doing it. You've got current management that would probably like to have 345 Park Avenue on their side with new owner Josh Harris, so they'll go along with it. You've got the new owner who will agree with anything that is necessary to get the approval required to buy the team. But, here's the problem with the Commanders, Chris. How do you properly do it without mentioning Daniel Snyder at least 25 times an episode?
Yeah. It
would be glaring. The extent to which they brushed the Daniel Snyder wrinkle under the rug would be embarrassing to the league. It would be too obvious. They would not know how to handle it. If they would completely ignore it, it would be a joke. So how do you strike the right balance? I'm sure they'd rather not even do that. So they're in a pickle. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.